Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope that you're doing well. So today I've been working on this side project. It's kind of a passion project of mine. I used to be in this band with a few of my friends.
I didn't know if I would even be any good at it, but I know that I really wanted to be good.
I knew it was going to be hard. I mean, I'm trying to be pretty realistic about stuff. Even then, I'm like, yeah, this is like an instrument. It's going to take a long time to get good. But hopefully, we could get good enough to play something.
I went up to Portland, Oregon, I went up to Vancouver, Washington, and I interviewed my friends just to see kind of what they thought about the whole time and just to get their opinion on this. So I have a lot of video and I have a lot of images. I have more images than anything. And so I wanted to bring those to life somehow, and I could throw those into After Effects and zoom in on them or do whatever I want to do, some type of transition and just give it a little bit of movement. But I thought, what else can I do to these photos just to bring them up a little bit more, give them a little bit more life? So to do this, what I did was I set up these photos around my house. I set up 3 different areas where I could do this. So what I did was I set these photos up on my couch because the light was coming through the window and it was so soft. And so I set up my slider and my camera on my tripod and I just shot just different angles of these photos just so it's not just a picture up on the screen. I wanted it to have some type of movement, characteristic, something that was engaging. And so I thought that was cool. And then I thought, well, what if I did it with some other photos as well? And so I set up this little TV tray. It's a wooden TV tray that we had. I threw 3 photos on there and I did the exact same thing. I just kind of shot it. This time I did something a little bit different. The corner of this counter was getting in the way, but what it was doing was it was creating this transition from the photo to the, I guess the corner of the counter there, and it just created this nice soft like transition. And so I used that on these photos just to kind of bring it to life a little bit and reveal like what was on that table. So now for these 4 photos, all I actually did was I used my stove, and inside of the grates for each one, I placed a photo. That gives it a little bit of depth. I can do my parallaxing with the slider, or I can rack focus between them with the lens. So one thing I like to do when shooting B-roll, I like to switch out my lenses. I like to go back to some of my older lenses. This one right here is a 135mm. I used to use this on an old still photo camera that I had. Also have this one right here. This is a 100 to 300mm. I also use that on a still photo camera as well. What these lenses do is they give me different options when shooting my B-roll. They each have their own characteristics. Sometimes they render the color a little differently, or sometimes they have super shallow depth of field. It just kind of depends on the lens itself. Usually I'll shoot with like my normal Canon lenses that I have here. This one's an 85mm. Right now what I'm shooting on is a 50mm 1.4 on my DSLR. And then I have this 20mm which I use as my wide angle and what I do most of my interviews with when I need a bigger shot. I also have this L series 70 to 200. It's an f.4. It just, each one of these has its own characteristics and it gives me something fun to shoot with. Another fun thing to do when shooting B-roll is to actually put things in front of the lens. Like this glass right here, when you shoot through this glass, it's going to give you a totally different image. Sometimes you want to just cover up a sliver of the lens or maybe half of the lens, and it's going to give you such an awesome picture. Also kind of revealing things behind other things. So let's say for instance, I have this bag right here, and I take my camera and I have it covered up by that, and then I can reveal the shot once it's out of the frame. It's just another way to shoot B-roll. I suggest that you try out different techniques, see what works best for you. So if you're ever getting bored just showing those pictures on the screen, what I would suggest is trying to find different solutions. And mine was to print these photos out and just kind of set them around my house and just shoot them with my camera and shoot different angles. That way it's still a picture up on the screen, but it's giving it a little bit of life. a little bit of something more, and I can show more than one. So hopefully this video helped you out and made you think a little bit more about your B-roll. Maybe instead of just showing a picture, you can just do something a little bit more just to give it that little bit of life. But thanks for watching this video. Hit that thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you like, and I'll catch you on the next one.